I'm quite excited about this because this is the day that Mixwave, in collaboration with 2 Rock, are launching their first plugin of a 2 Rock Bloomfield. This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. Now, Taylor Larson is a guy that I've known the name of for years for his involvement with bands like Skites, Airplane, Periphery, and so on. So back when I was interested in the metal scene, Taylor was involved with that. And the Mixwave stuff I first experienced when I checked out the Creamer plugin, which they built with Milkman. And I thought that was a really, really stunning little plugin. 2 Rock, of course, amps are famous for essentially being involved in this kind of Dumble boutique situation. 2 Rock have kind of moved past that by this point and are kind of doing their own thing in a lot of ways, but it's very much in that D style. I asked Taylor what his connection really was with the 2 Rock amps, and he basically said that the Bloomfield Drive was his first introduction to the amps, and so it made sense as this is kind of like their more versatile amps. This here is a TS1. And then he also said, funnily enough, that he'd found my video on the SSS, which he ended up buying an SSS as well. And he also said that he's quite excited about the future prospects of making more of these. So I'm really excited about that. Let's dig into the plugin. I'll show you what's going on with it. This is a sponsored video, of course, but I think you'll agree that on this channel, I've always been interested in this Dumble style thing, to the point of talking about it far too much, obviously. One of the really cool things here, I like to set things to 8 times oversampling. This is going to make a bit of a difference when you start putting gain in front of the plugin and that sort of stuff. Give ourselves the best fighting chance of, reducing artifacts like aliasing and stuff like that. So, I've got a Les Paul plugged in here. Okay, we got the deep, mid and bright switches, so if we hit that deep, EQ1 and EQ2. Bright switch. As well as a mid switch. Just a really, really pretty kind of sound. You can bypass the tone stack as well. Other cool things to bear in mind, we've got 6v6, so this is your kind of 40, 20 watt version. That makes a real difference as well. So lots of flexibility here. We got an OD section up front, which is obviously going to be Tubescreamer type. Whether that's going to be something you use when you hear the drive channel instead, let's just check that out. So we've got lead here. So this is our lead amp. And what's really cool to me, it's got that kind of like bloomy sizzle. Something to bear in mind, if you're looking for some more creamy tones, push the input gain up here and keep this lead gain here slightly lower. And then balance the volume here. Another thing to bear in mind, we've got the cab section here, which by default has all these other, like we've got tons of mics here. So I like to, as a starting point, just pick like one. And for me, I think this is a cab that I quite like. Position it off of the cone a little bit. Okay, so if we jump into the cab section, the other cool thing, we've got this output section here where we can sort of EQ things. So we've got a low pass filter. So if I was going to be looking for some higher gain, could be using that to dial things back, but keep, we've also got input processing as well, but keeping the amp presence a little bit wider open so that it's not sort of closing off. So use that to sort of balance things. And you get that really lush kind of blooming thing going on. We've got focus here, which is a really powerful switch, and also some really useful sort of mix type things that are going to help you, I think, in terms of kind of refining your tone. So you've got like all of the things that I would want from this type of plugin, especially the tone. And luckily, like, you wouldn't have the same issue on the real amp, where I'm dialing things in to be super sort of saturated. I'm not having to worry about So you can see that's like with things really, really cranked. more than I would in real life be able to get away with, but sort of shows that the amp has a really sort of nice vibe to it. Just a great all-round sounding piece of kit, I think. So yeah, I just was really happy to get asked if I'd check this out. Some useful presets in there, but equally not hard to dial in. And I'd be hitting this oversampling each time. So just to summarise, you've got clean and the drive. It's going to be in that classic D style. You've got the bypass as well here, by the way, if you're looking for that. So you can bypass the tone stack for a bit of a boost. The PAB bypass. You can change the power amp section. You know, loads of tweakability. I think importantly sounding great as well. Half power. You've got a gate on the input if you need it. Just everything I think you'd need, as well as a great sounding reverb. Go check it out. Thanks so much to Mixwave for getting me involved. I'm excited to see what else they can do in collaboration with 2 Rock. Exciting stuff. Go check it out.